Good day, Father Matt Williams here in my parked car. I hope you're well. We've been talking about prayer this week. And one of the things I've been trying to communicate is that when you come into prayer, whether you're going to come pray the rosary or you're going to go to mass or whatever you're going to pray, it's important to take your moment to place yourself in God's presence and to really just get acclimated to prayer and being in God's presence. When you go to visit somebody's house, you knock on the door and they open and they greet you, right? And they welcome you. They say, hello, how are you? Welcome, right? That's the first part of prayer, right? Acknowledging God's presence and that he's welcoming us and we're welcoming him. Then the next part is people say, well, how are you doing? How have you been, right? And then that's like an opportunity to be able to share your heart, share a little bit what's going on, right? And being able to open yourself up. And that's the next moment in prayer. Like, what's most on your heart? What's most on your mind in this moment? What's heavy? What's concern? What's blessing? And just present that to the Lord. Then the next moment is to allow the Lord to respond back to that, where we as the person in prayer want to receive and to be open. And I talked a couple days ago about, like, when you're in the sun, you don't have to try, you just be in the sun and you experience its effects. Or a piece of bread in the toaster doesn't have to do anything, it just receives the effects of the oven and it starts to get toasted. That we don't have to do anything, that we can just be in the Lord's presence and we begin to experience his presence in our lives. He begins to speak to us, we begin to listen. Okay, this is the first moments of prayer. And to be honest with you, this in and of itself could be a whole hour of prayer or 10 minutes of prayer, 15 or 20. Prayer is about coming into the presence of God and sharing heart to heart, listening and speaking, being one with him ultimately. What I want to share with you today, really important. If we think about the transfiguration, when Peter, James, and John accompanied Jesus up the mountain, Mount Tabor, where many think that that's where that event took place, is a very high mountain. It is a grueling journey to the top of Mount Tabor. It would take many, many, many minutes, if not over an hour. We took a bus up, so we were up in maybe 10 minutes via bus, 15 minutes via bus. I don't know how long it would take to walk, but it would take a long time, and it's steep, so it's grueling. It's grueling. And I think this reminds us of prayer in that, we have to make an effort to pray. Prayer just doesn't come easy. We have to make an effort to pray. The mountains in Scripture, according to all Scripture scholars, the mountains, when people go on mountains in the Scriptures, it's always a place of encounter with God. Think of Moses and getting the 10 Commandments. Think of Elijah in the priest of Baal, or even the whispering wind, right? The place of the mountain is a place of encounter with God. It takes great effort to pray, and it takes great effort to go to a secluded place to pray so that you can really enter into God's presence. Shutting the door to your room, praying in your parked car, going to a chapel, a church, going to a place where you can be quiet. That takes effort. But God rewards that effort. Why? What happens at the top of the transfiguration? Glory breaks through. Jesus shines through. His garments become radiant as white light, and the glory of Jesus shines. And the apostles experience the presence of the S-O-N, the Son. They enter into his glory. I'm telling you right now, when you make an effort to pray, to enter into prayer, going up that mountain, and you really do these steps of what I'm saying, acknowledging God's presence, relating to what's on your heart and mind, and then allowing yourself to be in the Son, I promise you, his glory will break forth. You got to give him time. You got to give him time. You got to give him 10 or 15 minutes. His glory will break through, and you will experience the effects of the S-O-N. My brothers and sisters, this is the beginning of contemplation. This is what you were created for. This is what the saints on earth experience, and this is what the saints in heaven bask in this day, in this hour, in this moment. So, prayer is a necessity. Have you made time for it today? He is waiting for you. Will you seek him today? Will you climb the mountain of prayer? God bless you.